Hey guys, welcome to Meow Club. Good day, happy weekend, happy Saturday. So I've been deck building as usual, and I'm so hyped about this deck I'm building. I haven't even sleeved it and I want to show you guys. So it is a card that I recently discovered that I didn't know about, which is always fun. And let's take this out. It is Jhoira of the Ghitu. So she's a very old card, probably not a very good card in any format really except Commander. So legendary creature is at colours. 2, exile a non-land card from your hand, put 4 time counters on it, and it gets suspend. If you don't know about that, it's he gets 4 time counters, so each turn you remove a time counter, and after they've all been removed you can cast it without paying its mana cost. So it's really cool, you kind of get this like building up of stuff that's going to be cast soon, so people can kind of prepare for what you're doing, but also you can get a huge discount by paying 2 grey mana for some huge cards which get played in 4 turns. So I thought I saw this card and I just thought, whoa, that's not good. Yeah, I saw this card and I just thought, that looks like so much fun. So I decided to not really put too much thought into it, and it was really fun to build this deck. I just went through my folder and all of the janky, huge mana cost rares that I thought I'd never be able to play, I just dumped them in here. So I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, I've got to survive till probably turn 7. There's a couple of things I can cast before that. I hope I could probably work on that a little bit more. But anyway, I think it's a really cool idea for a commander, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. So give me 1 second, I will show you what's in here. So the theme of the deck is like huge expensive spells and creatures, like stuff that you just look at and think, I'm never going to be able to play that. And also annoying stuff, and there's some like sub-theme of giant tribal, and there's a kind of like sea monster tribal going on as well. So let's check this out. Most of the lands are just islands and forests at the moment. Okay, Stratus Dancer, that's one of the guys I can play early on. Morph it to counter an instant or sorcery. Siege Dragon, when he enters, destroy all walls your opponents control. And if they have none, well, when he attacks, if they control no walls, he deals 2 damage to each of their creatures. There's a lot of the creatures here are designed to like wipe the board when they drop. This is just an annoying card. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they put a flood counter on target non-island land he or she controls. It basically, each turn, turns all the lands into islands, and then when all lands are islands, you take the flood counters off and they go back to normal. Hopefully that'll screw with some people. This card, not really any synergy or anything, but it's red-blue and it belonged to my late brother, so I wanted to stick that in there to remind him, because this is the exact kind of deck he would build. Okay, so I'm not running that many non-basics, so I thought Price of Progress is good. Okay, here we start getting to the sea monsters. This one already has suspend for 3, and it removes a time counter whenever an opponent casts a spell. So that's pretty great. That's probably one that I wouldn't cast with Jhoira. Sphinx of Jhoira. Invoke the Fire Mind. Draw X cards or deal X damage to creature or player. Love this card. Cowards can't block warriors. Target creature becomes a coward till end of turn. Target creature becomes a warrior till end of turn. Always wanted to put this in something. I've always wanted to build a giant tribal deck as well, but I expected it to be like red-white. This is like half. Yeah, so this is 5 mana for a split second card where I can gain control of something. Mind's Desire, shuffle your library, then exile the top card of your library and you can cast it or play it. That's pretty cool. Okay, return all creatures except krakens, leviathans and octopuses and serpents to their owner's hands. That's supposed to go with Jhoira, I think. Leviathan, huge, fat. This guy's pretty versatile. So I got a few board wipes in here. Hellvault. Might take this out actually, it's a bit expensive for what I'm trying to do. Colossal Whale, when it attacks you can exile target creature until this leaves the battlefield, that's pretty great. Twin Flame, so I can copy all of my creatures for very cheaply, so hopefully get out huge creatures and copy them. Shipbreaker Kraken, again that's a Kraken, can go monstrous. Blighted Cataract, Swiftwater Cliffs, Evolving Wilds, Is It Boilerworks, Buried Ruin, bring back an artifact. Encroaching Wastes is useful always. Island, Mountain, Island, Dread Statuary, a Manland. Thought Reflection, crazy expensive enchantment, draw 2 cards instead of 1. Disaster Radius, reveal a creature from my hand, deals X damage to each creature my opponents control. So hoping to free cast that and have a big creature in my hand, obviously. This is quite a funny card. That's just annoying really, I might take that out. Guardian of the Ages, so this is to discourage people from attacking me. Yeah, this is another annoying card. So each person who controls more creatures than you can't play creatures. Same is true for artifacts, enchantments and lands. Guild Feud, this is cool. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent reveals the top 3 cards of his or her library. May put a creature from among them onto the battlefield, then puts the rest into his or her graveyard. And then I do the same and the creatures fight each other. So because I'm running all big creatures, that's going to be pretty good for me. My piles are shit. Sunrise Sovereign, giants get 2/2 and trample. Whenever another creature enters, I can put X counters on Hamlet back Goliath, where X is its power. Duplicants, I can exile a creature when this comes in, and he basically copies that creature. Target creature controlled deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent, that's pretty great. Magma Giant enters, he deals 2 damage to each creature and player. Heartless Hidetsugu, tap him to half their life total rounded down. 1000 Winds, if I morph him, he returns all tapped creatures to their owner's hands. Shuffle your search your library for a card, exile it and shuffle. Opponent may have you play that card or put it into your hand. If they don't, you draw 3 cards. When this enters the battlefield, I can cast up to 1 instant or sorcery from their graveyard without paying its mana cost. It's pretty great. Although it's not great value, but like I said, the theme is to play huge creatures that I could never normally afford. Flying, Haste, Devour 2. So I was thinking this might be a game winner for me because I can sacrifice 2 huge creatures that maybe can't get past blockers and then fly in with haste with this huge dragon. So those are the cards I've sleeved so far. I had to buy more sleeves. I was up all night doing this. So yeah, I'm thinking like I'm quite vulnerable in the early game in this deck, so I was trying to think of ways to fix that. Gratuitous Violence, great card, double all my damage. Giant Warrior, he gets +4/4 for each other giant I control. Hammerfish Giant. Tap him to deal 4 damage to each creature without flying and each player. Love giants. Ogre Battle Driver. When a creature enters the battlefield under my control, it gets +2/0 in haste. Bearer of the Heavens. When he dies, destroy all permanents at the beginning of the next end step. Just a crazy card I've always wanted to put in a crazy deck. Okay, mountain. Probably all basic land that. No. Spine Rock Knoll, Hideaway. Adds a red, and I can tap and put a red. If I deal 7 damage to an opponent this turn, I get to play that card for free. Islands. Bloodfire Colossus, Giant, sack him to deal 6 damage to each creature in play. Giants are awesome, man. Counterflux, really great counterspell for Izzet. Oh, and the cool thing about this card, you can pay 1 extra and counter all spells on the stack that your opponents are casting. Scourge of Fleets, foil. When he enters the battlefield, return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less to their opponent's hand, where X number islands I control. Arcanist, just great in a blue deck. Gin of Wishes. So he gets 3 wish counters. I can remove a counter, reveal the top card of my library, and play it without paying its mana cost if I don't exile it. That would actually be great in Atraxa. Niv Magus Elemental. Exile an instant or sorcery spell that I've cast actually, so that's not too great. Put 2/1/1 counters on it. I'm actually taking him out. I forgot you have to pay the mana cost. I didn't want to pay any mana costs. Okay, so this guy's a Kraken and he gets 2/2 if I have my commander out, and when he gets blocked I can draw 2 cards. Breaching Leviathan. I'm obviously not casting it from my hand, so no point in the text. Lorthos the Tidemaker. I think these are all just out of another Kraken tribal deck. Sphinx of Magosi, love him. Dig Through Time. I need to check if this is banned in Commander actually, because I know it's banned in like every other format. Pearl Lake Ancient. Flash can't be countered. Prowess. Leviathan. Return 3 lands I control to my hand and return him to my hand. Arbiter of the Ideal, another Sphinx. So I get to basically free cast stuff with him whenever he becomes untapped. Tromocrates. Hexproof when he's attacking or blocking, and he can't be blocked unless all their creatures block him. Sage-Eye Avengers. When he attacks, I can return a creature to their hand. I'm going to take him out actually. Earthquake, nice little board wipe. These are all non-flying board wipes actually, that's a bit worrying. So whenever this guy deals damage, I get to draw a card. I might take that out actually. Mindswipe, counter target spell unless its controller pays X. Mindswipe deals X damage to that spell's controller. So I've got some counter spells. And in the sideboard I've got a lot of counter spells actually, because I thought that might be a good way to stall out the early game. So Spell Pierce, Disperse, Negate, Essence Scatter, Cancel, my favourite one, Controvert, thought Unstable Obelisk. That's kind of not as good as the Hell Vault really, because you get to exile it. And then I was thinking of, actually I wanted to put Jhoira's Timebug in this. I don't know if you know that card, but it's an artifact 1/1 ant creature or something. And you can tap it to remove a time counter from something. So I was thinking of having some like untap synergy going on with some of these guys. Another counter spell. Captain of the Mists. So you can untap him when a human enters and pay 2 and tap him to tap or untap target permanent. Spin into Myth. Ember Swallower and Charmbreaker doubles. Predator Flagship. So that's the deck as it is. I think I have a copy of Jhoira's Timebug somewhere. I haven't been able to dig it up. But yeah, I think this deck's going to be really fun, really stupid, everything I like to play in Magic. So let me know what you think, guys, and I will upload some footage of me playing it probably later today. Have a nice weekend.